Hey, Ryan.
Hey, Rick. How long have you been shaping?
40 years.
Where are you from and where's home now?
Originally from Buena Park, but I started in San Clemente.
Who do you have glassing your boards?
I do them.
How do you measure surfboard value?
It's not valuable if it doesn't catch waves good. It's not valuable if the volume is incorrect for you. It's not valuable if it's heavy or if it's weak and heavy or if it's too stiff, like not flexible enough. And it doesn't matter who made the board. It just matters if it works good. Does it catch waves? Is it light? Is it fast? And is it maneuverable? You know, some boards inherently dig rail. You know, that's not good either.
What's the first thing you check when QCing your boards?
When I make a custom board, I build it entirely by myself. So it's being QC'd along the way in every way.
Do you order custom blanks?
So my favorite way to make a board now is to get a stringerless EPS blank, the lightest density I can get, which is usually 1.5 stringerless. And then I glass the bottom with carbon fiber. And then on the deck, I do agave veneer. And what that is or agave capped. So I get the agave plant, I get the spout that comes out of it after about 20 years old. It goes to seed. I take that and I mill it down into strips, and then I vacuum bag bond them onto the deck with 1.5 ounce glass underneath. I vacuum bag bond that cap on. I fair it all in, and then I put a single 4 over that. And what you end up getting is you get incredible strength, and then it's also a composite because of the fiberglass under the agave. The agave ends up being about 1/16 to 3/32 of an inch thick, and then the 4 ounce that goes on top of it saturates into the agave, and you have fiberglass under it and on top of it. So it makes an incredibly strong deck, and the board, because it only has a 1.5 ounce EPS core and it's stringerless, it has a uniform flex, but it's super hard and really strong and super light. That is the best way to make a surfboard as far as I'm concerned. I haven't came up with a better way.
What's your PU to EPS build ratio?
I only do epoxy.
Who's been giving you feedback on your boards?
Only me. I have already done all the team rider stuff and tried to build my name, and there was times when partners, you know, people wanted to be partners with me, and I started, and it was always just uncomfortable, and I never liked it. I really just wanted to just shape boards and then have free time and a clear mind so that when I come up with an idea for a build that I'll be able to do it.
How close do you keep your eye on surf contests?
I'm not keeping up on them too much. I just check in with them.
Custom board versus stock board off the rack.
If you know how to read a board, it wouldn't matter if it was custom or stock. But to just grab it and not really know, personally, that isn't what I would do. I would want a rocker stick, and I would want a level, and I'd want a measuring device, and then I'd be able to tell if it was going to work for me or not, or if it was even a good board.
Do you have any advice for someone who's going into a surf shop, maybe looking for a board?
If you're going to get a board, I would buy it from somebody who knows how to surf.
What's something most people don't know about Rick Rock surfboards?
I'm a introverted, private person.
What do you think about board reviews on the internet?
If the actual shaper is doing the review, that's really good. Or a surfer who can surf good and has actually ridden the model, that's a good review. Anything else is not a good review. I wouldn't take that. Yeah, I just don't think it was good.
Who's your stab in the darker shaper?
For me, you know, like Chris Borst is a great shaper. You know, he's also a good surfer too. I think that any shaper that is a good surfer should be, you know, doing it. Like I would say Cordell Miller. Cordell Miller can surf like a pro surfer. You know, he would be great. People who can surf good and shape good are the ones that should be doing it.
If someone really wanted a Rick Rock surfboard, could they get one?
Possibly. See, the reason I say possibly is because, like, if it's in Australia or if it's in, I used to have a Japanese clientele, and I would shape and I would airbrush and I'd build all the boards and I'd put them in the box and I would ship them, and I did all that stuff, and it would have to be a convenient situation where it wasn't a big pain in the ass. It was like they were interested, and we talked about it, and they came down, and then they could come pick it up. I don't want to ship it.
What's the craziest custom board order?
I put a couple murals on boards. That was pretty. That gets difficult. Another one is if somebody is really, really oversized, like a really oversized person, but is a good surfer, that is very challenging. Another one is a really small kid, super tiny kids, really hard because the proportions are so abstract. It's so hard to relate to being so tiny.
Do you have anything new in the works?
I have a couple of new things. So I don't know if you've seen on my Instagram, but I make a surfboard out of surfboard scraps. I have a mold, and with my molded process, I can get the scrap cutoffs from manufacturing surfboards. Then when you cut out the fiberglass and they put all the scrap fiberglass in the trash, whether it's carbon fiber or regular clear e-glass. I have a mold. I laminate that into the mold. When it's wet, I get scrap EPS cutoffs or polyfoam, any foam, and I vacuum bag bond that onto each shell. The mold has a top shell and a bottom shell. You can see it on my Instagram, some parts, there's some videos. You bond that onto each half, and then you level it off at the halfway point, and then you bond those two halves together with fiberglass, and you have just made a surfboard out of entire scraps. I can literally turn hundreds of pounds of surfboard scraps into hundreds of surfboards with this molded process. It's pretty awesome. So with that, you can make, the surfboard is $80 to produce. My video will be how to make a custom surfboard for $80.
I'm going to say a word or phrase, and then you just say the first word or phrase that comes to mind.
Okay.
Bloodshot.
Surfer, skater, snowboarders playing thrash metal.
The Alley.
Where all my dreams came true.
Vacuum bagging.
Aerospace composite construction.
Mark Stavron.
Fin foiler extraordinaire.
Christian Fletcher.
My favorite surfer.
Brian Clark.
Best shaping mentor I ever had.
Dan Rock.
My favorite brother that got me into surfing.
Rick, thanks so much for your time. Usually I end with, what's the best way to get someone on a Rick Rock surfboard? But I almost feel like I should just say, good luck if you can get one.
Yeah, do that.
There we go. All right, Rick, thanks so much, man. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.